welcome on into a Baldur's Gate 2 lore playthrough. Again, we're going to be covering anything related to the story, anything related to Faerun, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever you guys want to talk about. If the game decides to cover subjects that may require a little bit more information, well, we can do that. And I don't promise to know everything, that's for sure. But we can look it up, we can ask questions, and we can find out. So these stats that I have are elevated not because of any, cheats or whatever. What I did was I did do some high rolls. And then when I found every tome in Baldur's Gate 1, it's a stat increase of 1. So I just piled it on, and just naturally, since I had a dexterity of 18, that made it 19. My constitution, I think, was 16, and I think there's a potion that you can take that, or maybe it was 15 and then made it 16, and then the tome made it 17. Either that, or I may... No, I have no other piece of equipment that help us. And my charisma was 18. I think I was originally going to have a different type of playthrough, but this is a dual class fighter thief. And I think in my head, I was going to do some kind of like charismatic thief type thing, only for the purposes of storytelling, of course. But once I got done with that story, I didn't really revisit it to see if it would be optimal for this type of playthrough, but we're going to use it. So we're going to go forward with this. And man, feels good to get back. The middle of the night in Athkatla.
I hope this is worth it.
I don't even remember what's in this room. Here's a prison guard. Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, there's some. We need as much money as possible. So Minsk.
You point, I punch.
Pick up everything. Even if it only sells for like 5 gold, it's better than nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
Declare yourself.
I'm sorry, but the prison is closed during the evening. No outside admittance is allowed. If you wish to visit a prisoner, return in the morn. Okay, so there's a prison.
Give me some direction.
Prisoner in there. Maybe we can visit for some reason. But this is the government district, and in the government district is where we were told to see about getting a license for magic. Greetings. You are known to me, or the deeds are known to those I serve. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? Well, come on in. Been thoroughly enjoying your playthrough. I did not know you were going to be playing Cyberpunk. That caught me off guard, and that is my favorite RPG of all time. That shocks some people because I'm such a old school retro player for many games. You name me the game, I probably have played it. Me too. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's one of those that it's on rails for quite a while, And there's a reason for it, because they're trying to tell a story. CD Projekt is very much committed to their storytelling. You look at any other games that they've ever made, they are deeply committed to the story. But once they have told you what it is, then they'll let you go. And that is true with The Witcher as well. My Witcher playthrough I'm doing on Twitch at the moment is in a situation where I need to go back to the beginning area, because there was one little area I forgot. But it's such a small little area that if you were to try to leave, it'll just say, okay, you got to go back. But it's a real small, tiny area. It does give the sense like it's open, but it's not. And then once they kind of put you on the path, then you can do whatever. But Cyberpunk is even longer because there's a lot there. And I think once you get to that point, it'll be less frustrating and you'll understand why. Once you get to the end game, you'll be like, oh yeah, I kind of understand why they're making me do this. Thanks for its good context. Yeah, it's one of those that you do hear that a lot. It's like people kind of get started, they didn't like it, this or that, the controls are buggy, and that's a fair argument. I mean, all that's fair. But they are storytellers. CD Projekt is very committed to the story. And they get that from BioWare. They have BioWare roots. And this game was made by BioWare. The Witcher, the original Witcher, was made on the Aurora engine, which was developed by BioWare for the Neverwinter Nights game. And so it's heavily modified. And there's a lot of connection to old stories. In fact, in Cyberpunk, I won't give any spoilers or anything, there are Easter eggs to their origins and BioWare. I won't tell you where, because it's such a a hidden Easter egg that you probably won't find it just on your own. You have to be looking for it. I found it when I, cause like I said, that's the thing. I knew about the history and I kind of was like, I wonder what's over here. And sure enough, I looked and yeah, I kind of saw it, but there's a lot going on with those two companies. And I think CD Projekt is very grateful for the start that they had and their origins with BioWare. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's CD, the Cyberpunk is just such a huge lore intensive game that's just so much fun. So much fun. But good to see you, Sarah. There was one other thing. No, I guess that's it. But yeah, we're going to just be doing this game. We're going to be doing a narrative playthrough, just reading everything. If we run across a book, we're going to read it. So it's going to be super slow, very different from the tactical presentations you'll see, because this is an older game. People need to have some kind of different interaction from the dozens of times they've played it. But for a lot of people, they have not played this game. So, perfect. It says, greetings. You are known to me, or the deeds are known to those I serve. I think I should introduce myself. I am Medine. I represent one of the masters of the Athkatla Order of the Cowled Wizards. He seeks to employ you in a matter of some urgency. The Cowled Wizards. They are the ones that arrested Imowen. I would be very interested in speaking with them about that. I do not know anything about that. I represent one of the wizards, as I said, a Master Togerius. Perhaps you could speak to him of this Imowen. Let's see here. Very well. How do I go about meeting this Togerius fellow? He will be most pleased. Master Togerius can be found in the government building behind me. You may go within. Do not tarry over long, my friend. Now remember, we did come to the government district specifically, well, for me at least, specifically to get Viconia, but it was two birds with one stone because I did need to talk to the wizards here so I could get a license to practice magic, because if we do it without that license, we're going to get thrown in jail. So I wanted to do this anyway. So this is how BioWare tells their stories at the very beginning. They're very good at saying, you can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. However, they give you a lot of guidance, and it's a good idea to pay attention to it. But you know, I was thinking about it the other day. Yeah, me and Dash have a very, I've never really put two and two together. We have a very similar way of doing video design. He has it from a very storyteller approach, and which I love, and I do too. And it's just that my way is coming from a very like I am going to tell you a story, and Dash is more like he has the story in front of him, but he's filling in the gaps that the story's not telling you. And so mine is completely fictional sometimes. It's not even really in the game. It's just like, this is my character. This is what he would have done. And even though this is about this other character, this is how my character fits in there. So that way it gives a little bit more immersion to the character we're talking about. So my Viconia 2-hour video is pretty much, you know, telling you the story. But again, it's not just about Viconia. It's about your interaction with her. And then my Jaheira is my interaction with Jaheira and the travels there. We start in Candlekeep at the beginning of it, where Jaheira is not part of, simply because you have to understand where the story is coming from and why she's even involved to begin with. Oop. Link. In case you guys don't know, we have 3 Pomeranians who like to bark from time to time. Yes, Link. One of them is Link, named after Zelda and Link. But anyway, here we go.
I'm there.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other. I was like, why do me and Dash get along so well? It was like, oh yeah, I never really stopped to think about it.
Speak up, speak
This
up.
is Corneo. What is it you wish? You are obviously out of place here. So unless you have pressing business, I am very busy and I do not wish to be bothered by such as you. Well, might you help me? I have an interest in those taken by the Cowled Wizards. What happens to those taken by the Cowled Wizards is not for decent people to know. No magic user goes unknown. and all may pass through here, but that information is not for you. Good day. Okay. Here's Togerius, who's this guy right here. Here's Jeremiah Jamtoes, so he's probably a halfling.
You're rather outlandish folk to be wandering round here.
I've been sent from one person to another for 6 weeks now. Does nobody actually do anything here? And this is Corgi Axehand. We had a Corgi for a little while, but this is Corgi.
Is there a reason you are here? You should make an appointment to request an audience, or speak directly with Officer Rowanall.
He serves well as liaison to the nobility. Sorry to bother you. I was just looking around. As you will, but you may not be allowed access to some areas. This is the heart of government, after all. Which I am in government, so I will understand this a bit. Oh, and it's funny, Sarah's doing a corporal run, which I think is the canon run. I'm not going to say much more than that. There is no canon run in Cyberpunk. I want to be very clear about that. But if there is one, I could argue, once you know all the story details and get done completely, we can have a long discussion about it. But I have more evidence, I think, on my side to suggest that it is the canon run. But again, there is no canon run in that game. It felt right, I think. They all feel good. It's just there. In The Witcher, of course, Geralt has a known backstory. There's several pieces of literature. There's lots of other ancillary points about before the game even came out, right? So you don't have to build that world. That world is known, and CD Projekt's kind of on rails themselves. They can't do much without, they can't just make up a character. Well, I mean, they can, but I mean, you can't step outside certain bounds, right? So with this game, of course, Baldur's Gate, there are known features in Faerun. You can't just make up a god out of nowhere. And if you do, you better have some permission from Wizards of the Coast and some of the other original creators of this world. So that way it's not, you can't replace one god with another god who does the same thing, and just because it doesn't fit, I didn't like the name or something. You can't do that. In Cyberpunk, there is known lore, but because the events from the tabletop game, because Mike Ponce, who created it, made it as a tabletop game, and a lot of the things he came up with in the 80s, early 90s came true. Like cell phones, for instance. He said, what if we had this like technology where we could just relay information like super fast, and it could be like done over the air or something like that. He was talking about cell phones. And so a lot of the things that seem modern, like everyday to us, to them, it was like futuristic. And he had this mindset of like, I kind of see where the world is going. And he says there is a kind of a curve there, because if you have certain events in a world that is, it doesn't stagnate, but corporations want to keep you where you're at, so that way you don't fall out of their ability to sell you things or keeping them profitable. So they have a reason to kind of make sure that you're culled in that environment. So you can kind of see a dulling of technology as long as it's within their profit margins, right? So he saw like potential there. And a lot of the things we take for granted nowadays, he saw back then, and he kind of incorporated it. And it's so genius when you kind of know those details. And for me, the corpo background and the street kid background, wonderful. The other one, the Nomad, is okay. Some people really, really love that one, and I don't have anything against it. But I think it kind of seems like an outlier to me. But all of those were required in order to kind of help you build the lore into a world that really had no lore in the future, because Mike Ponce's Cyberpunk was events before all these things. So a lot of the characters he created were kind of somewhat in the recent past. So CD Projekt was able to kind of take those things going forward. So you have to have a background, just to kind of get yourself into the game versus like making a Geralt or something.
My time is quick, so be brief, commoner.
I'm afraid any sort of appeal before the council is absolutely impossible at the moment. The council is not in session at this time of year. All right. Oh, this is Bailana.
You are more than welcome in my sight.
Good business to you. Is there aught that I can help you with? Who are you? I am the magistrate of Athkatla, Bailana Ianalyn. I don't think she would struggle with her name, but I did. Why is that of interest to you? Well, a friend of mine, Imowen, was taken captive by the cowed wizards for using magic in the city. Is there anything I can do to free her? I see. But your friend used magic within the city limits. You are aware that this is a violation of law. We do not allow magic users to go unchecked. But how can she be imprisoned? Imowen is no evil sorceress. It has been our experience that magic corrupts. Did you see the result of your friend's battle on the promenade? An entire section collapsed. The cowed wizards have taken your friend for rehabilitation, and she will not be released until the process is completed. But Imowen wasn't responsible for what happened in the promenade. That was another wizard. We got there at the end of the battle. Another wizard or your Imowen, it matters not. She used magic. The cowed wizards cannot stop to sort out who was directly responsible for the damage. But if this Imowen you speak of is a good and responsible user of her abilities, then I imagine that her rehabilitation would not take long. What is this rehabilitation you're talking about? How long does it normally take? It would, well, I will not lie to you, sir. We do not normally concern ourselves over much with the prisoners that the cowed wizards take. For the most part, these magic users they capture are dangerous or psychotic. Protecting us from these people is a valuable service. If they have taken someone out of zealousness because she was a mage present at a major magical disturbance, well, I can do nothing. The cowed wizards are not under our command. They do us a service, but they do as they wish. Their prison is a secret even to us, as their methods. I am sorry, my good man, but there is truly nothing we can do for you. Hopefully the cowed wizards will see their error and release your friend. Let's see. This is Lord Ketlar Argrim.
I'll heed no churlishness, peasant.
I'm having a difficulty with the workers at one of our gold mines, and I'm not leaving until I speak to a council about it. So clearly this is an area where like people have to like meet the leaders of the area, I guess. This is Tolgerius, though.
I am one of the few who are chosen.
Ah, yes, I see Medine has proved to be his faithful self as usual. How do you do, my lord, considering the city is so harsh on strangers, eh? Perhaps Medine has let slip a little of what this is about, no? Well, yes, I do have something I would like you very much to do, if you care to hear it. First, I would like to know where Imowen is. Imowen? Ah, the girl rested along with the wizard. I do not have such inconsequential information on me, so put aside such demands. Look, I will not put it aside. Either you tell me where Imowen is, or you shall not receive my assistance. I will look into the matter for you if you perform this task. However, I can guarantee nothing. If this means we do not work together, so be it. Well, this is where me and the group kind of grumble amongst each other. Grumble, rabble. Well, I had hoped differently, but a chance is better than nothing. Tell me more about the reward and I may be more inclined. Here we go. Here's another one. It says, it galls me greatly, and it is even worse that you ask for a blind leap of faith for me. How can I agree to something I am not even sure I can do? Yes, it is a lot for even I to ask, huh? You are more than capable of performing this task, and it will conflict with none of your current loyalties. And you would garner the goodwill of the cowed wizards, not to mention a substantial reward. But if you are determined to refuse, I certainly cannot stop you. All right, then. I agree to perform this task. Tell me what you would have me do. Excellent. This is like the Mr. Burns thing. Excellent. Your agreement means the cowed wizard shall hold you to your word. This matter must be handled with discretion and expediency. There is something that has been plaguing us for more than a week now, and it has become quite alarming. You know the prevailing attitude against magic here in yes? Well, amongst some, it is even worse than that. A burning, palpable hatred. One particular man here in Athkatla has murdered 2 of our number in cold blood. He is currently in hiding, and we need you to track the fellow down. We have been unable to do so, much to our frustration. Cowed wizards cannot be assaulted without repercussions, or it will lead to serious problems. Well, who is this murderer then, and how am I supposed to track him down when you failed? He is Valigar Korthala, last son of a wealthy family and a true brute. Ask around, and you may discover if he is hiding within the city or someplace else. He has a home in the Docks District, or he may have fled to the Umar Hills. His friends and servants will not speak to us. They may to you. And just what am I supposed to do with this Valigar fellow once I find him? I am no murderer. We do not ask you commit any murder. We wish Valigar to be delivered to us, and that is all. He will likely resist, so if you must kill him, so be it. Jaheira says, surely all murderers must be brought to task, I wonder what manner of justice the cowed wizards would apply. It is something to consider. And that was a horrible Jaheira voice, but it is what it is. But if you do kill him, I simply must have his body. Valigar must be delivered to us whether he is dead or alive. Do you understand? Yes? Okay. Is there anything else I should know? There is nothing I can think of. Perform your promised task and the cowed wizards shall be pleased. All right. Very well. I will hunt this murderer down and return him to you. You gave your word, so I expect nothing less. I await the sight of this murderer's body soon. All right. So, very interesting task we have before us. Very interesting in that they decide to pick us out of the city, even though we're very new to this area. So they have spies on us. We know that. We also know that they know that we're capable. And on top of it all, they have an issue that they cannot deal with themselves. So they do need an outsider. That's pretty plain and clear, because the only clues to find him are with his compatriots and companions who have said nothing to the cowed wizards. Chief Inspector Brega.
Is there something that you need, citizen?
Who are you?
Chief Inspector Brega at your service. I work under the magistrate investigating the crimes of this city. And there are plenty that require my attention, believe you me.
Well, my friend Emma was taken by the cowed wizards. Do you know where she is or where I can get help? Oh, wait a minute, no, let's talk about this. Perhaps you could tell me about the war between the Thieves Guild I've heard so much about. Let's do our best accent here. There is little we can do. The Shadow Thieves are entrenched, and this new guild has more power than expected. Both, however, are adept at avoiding authority. The best we can hope is to prevent the city going up in flames in the meantime, and that whichever of them remains will be weak enough to push out. If you're thinking of dealing with either, don't. I'm trying to summon my calm voice, but he's not Scottish. So it's just coming off bad. But anyway, a number of bodies have turned up, recruits by either side. I'm sure you don't want to end like that. That's good. Hey, I'm trying to make sure that it does not sound like our main character or me. So take heed and take off to the streets at night. I'm sure this will all be over soon enough. I just know that when I do any kind of UK accent, I overthink it. I try to cut off the very end of my words. So like in the night, like night, you know, but I overthink it. I oversell it, and it just does not work very well. So civil service.
Touch me. Speak and be done with it.
Talos mercy. The wind blew all my forms away. Now all I have to do is redo them, and over the next 3 months. Yeah, trust me, I know about forms. Larsh.
Do not touch
yes?
me.
What
Speak
is it?
and be done with it.
Can't you see that I'm quite busy? Who are you? Well, you can't be a local, that's for sure. You're looking at the official herald for Athkatla, keeper of family crests and records. Now beat it. You don't need to be rude. Somebody more inclined might take your head off. I'm a rather important person, silly boy. Try it, and you'll have the entire guard to deal with. Now be gone. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I mean, there's so many interactions you can have in this game, and they really almost mean nothing, but that's what you call immersion. Oh, and what we have not done yet is, now that we have Vaconia, my favorite character in the entire series, and it's not even close. There's distant seconds and thirds, but Vaconia. Let me put on some music for her because that's important. Hold on. Where's our music? There it is. When you ask about her recent past, Vaconia snarls that it is not your place to know such things of her. There is still pride in her voice, and she speaks about her underdark home of Menzoberranzan. But you get the feeling that there is nothing left for her there. Her family and house, most likely victims of typical vicious drow politics. She has continued in her worship of the night goddess Shar, but that appears to have been the only boon to her exile. She seems sullen and bitter, and has certainly learned much of the intolerance she must face while living among surface peoples. Her natural abilities as a drow have faded with time, also contributing to her lost sense of belonging. So, Vaconia. So, back in the day of the drow, when they were considered dark elves and whatnot, because they caused so much of a ruckus and, and stuff, they were kind of turned dark. And anyway, there's a whole big lore thing there, but basically it's a matriarchal society. We're talking about the drow, and as such, the females have a very, very elevated role, and in which case they can almost do anything they want depending on their status. Vaconia was the daughter of a matriarch of the house that were in Menzoberranzan, so basically lieutenant of the house, basically. And she had several sisters, and her sisters, you know what, I think they go on and tell stories in this game, but we may not get to it because some of it has to do with when you romance her. But basically, she was cast out when she refused to sacrifice a child. Well, she didn't refuse, she paused. So dark drow, I should say, they hate more than anything else surface elves, more than any other race out there. You could talk about, Illithid, you could talk about beholders, you could talk about hobgoblins, it doesn't matter what. The thing they hate most are surface elves. And it was a raid on some surface elves, and they captured children and they would sacrifice them to Loth. And it was just an honor for them to do so. Well, there was a child, a baby, and they were going to sacrifice the child, and it was Vaconia's duty to do that, and she kind of had to pause. That pause, the others pounced on. They saw you were not committed to Loth, and so they tried to kill her, and she defended herself. And in so doing...
It is either feast or famine with you. We are either hurried beyond endurance or bored witless, it seems.
Yes, Yoshima. But anyway, I'm going to pause that then. But when she paused, then the other people of the house decided to turn on her family, basically. They had to, because otherwise Loth would see the inconsistencies. Loth doesn't care. Loth wants all honor to come to her. She's a very, very jealous goddess. And in so doing, they had to turn on her, because if they weren't expected to, then they would fall as a house. They would feel the lack of honor from the goddess, and the goddess would require that other houses burn them down. But that's exactly what happened anyway. So when Viconia defended herself, she's very capable. She systematically got rid of her family, and her house was weak and was killed by the other houses, and so she had to leave, and that's where she fled to the surface. And instead of turning toward Loth anymore, she is now a servant of Shar, who is kind of the closest thing to that. And so it's not that she's evil, it's just that she's needing to find some kind of comfort as a cleric. Otherwise, she's just a drow on the surface who will be killed. Like we found her being ready to be sacrificed, and that was when she was caught. So she's very capable. She's able to kind of move around in silence, but she does need assistance. And so she has turned to Shar as her guiding light. And so Baldur's Gate 3 sometimes presents things in a very negative light, just because of good and bad or whatever, but it's not that simple. It's just not. And so if you know a little bit more about Viconia, which I love talking about her, like I said, I got a 3-hour video about her, then you'll be able to put those things together and say, she's just not that way. In fact, she's the only character in the entire series that can change alignment. So if you play her kind of cards right, and you romance her, and you do things a certain way, before you get done with this game, she will change from a chaotic evil to neutral. Chaotic neutral? I think that, I can't remember. And that is so rare in any Faerun, Forgotten Realms, Dungeons and Dragons situation. Usually that's your alignment, but she can change alignments. So she is special. That's my point.
It's probably best left to me.
I shall feast, be honored, for you shall feed me. I shall feast on your heart.
Harishan.
Be honored,
Shadow
for
Thief.
you shall feed me. Let me have a taste.
Harishan.
Come.
No, you are not to see this yet. You have not chosen your side. When the time comes, obey. Obey, or you will join the thieves in death. Such is the will of the mistress. What are you talking about? Why are you fighting these people? Such things are not for you to know yet. When the time comes, you will know much. And if the mistress bids it, you may also live. Okay. But they left us some goodies.
Nature's servant awaits.
No, we're going to give this to
Yes?
Eri.
Give me some direction.
Yeah, I'll give this here. Here's a note.
I carry too much as it is.
Oh, okay.
Your item's on the ground.
I have a gym bag, so I can put all this stuff in the gym bag. And let's give this to Viconia. Give this to Minsk. And we're going to give this to Eri. There we go. Now we have some room. Let's read the note. Proclamation of warning to all guild members. The Shadow Council itself decrees that all chapters should be on the guard against the upstart Assassins Guild usurping our membership. The lure of coin is not but bait, and it is suspected that the end of those that have defected has been most bloody. No guild can rival the Shadow Guild, so any that claim as such must have darker motives. You have been warned of the cost of treachery. Copy that. Oh yeah, let's give this to Eri. Get that. It's hard to leave all this on the ground, but we gotta leave it.
Waiting.
We don't have all that much.
Hey, not a concern.
Hello, more Tetherian exiles landing in Athkatla. Hear ye, expelled for familial misdeeds. Oh, shudder to think of all the red ink. Exiles? What's this all about then? The year of the tankard has been a tough one for the rich and pampered trying to grind out a living on the backs of the poor down south. Noses are akimbo, about Mazdagan gold falling into chubby fingers, while Ryatavan and Trailstone are left reading from the wrong books and the dog-legged ledgers. Judgment was swift on the deserving and bags packed double time. Good riddance, the natives wailed from ramparts high. Every morning I'm here, keeping the faith, protecting the righteous, and crucifying the guilty. Drop by to gnaw the fat and feast on the foolish. Interesting. Here is John Johnson. We are not going to talk to him right now. I would love to, but I don't want to. I don't want to get distracted. Let's take a look here. We have the Daryl, the Digestive, Fire Cam. This is all stuff we probably need to come back to. We don't need to do any of this stuff. Oh, here's a tip of Joaquin. Let's go there.
It has been some time since I've been this far south.
I recall seeing Gorion here some years ago. He was a bit out of place away from his books, but... Seems I cannot help but speak of the dead lately. I did not wish to cause you any distress if I have. Not at all. Memories serve us well. They do that. They do at that. Do you recall his tales? They could last for days, a snippet at a time here and there, but he built a history so you felt like you were there. They were my window because, well, we could not travel in safety. Yes, he sheltered you carefully from those that would harm you. Khalid was the same way, always taking the cautious path. Slow and steady, lest mistakes be made. Good things come in time. True enough. You were wise to see as such. Well, enough of this for now. Talk such as this can get maudlin if indulged too often. I have a good feeling from this, though. There's Jahira being Jahira.
Who are you?
Hello. Excuse me, sir. You look like a warrior. Are you a warrior? Could you help me? Minsk and Boo are the greatest of warriors, small one. I will crush your foes into little foe-shaped chunky bits. Who dares pick on you? Just point the way. I don't have any foes, sir. No foes, I am relieved. I trust those who prey on children no farther. Wait, I trust those who prey on children no farther than they can be thrown. Even if I manage to throw them pretty far, and throw them I shall. Boo wonders what you need a warrior for when you have no foes. I'm lost, sir. I was sent to find somebody who could help my village, but I've all my things stolen and nobody can help me. What? Boo is outraged. See his fury. It's small, so look close. Trust me, it's there. What is wrong with your village, small one? How can we heroes help? I'm from Innsville in the Umar Hills. People have been disappearing. Some of them have turned up, but they're all turned inside out and mad. Minsk has been inside out and angry before, and it is never a good thing. Sometimes it frightens even Boo. No, not mad as in angry, sir. Mad as in crazy. Oh, Minsk has never been crazy, no, sir. Being inside out was bad enough. Is there more, little boy? And even worse, everyone says that they even strange beasts out in the hills. Everyone's so frightened. There's even talk that Umar herself has returned. Then heroes are certainly needed. Heroes like Minsk and Boo and Aiden. Where is your village, small one? Together we shall save the day. I can show you where it is on your map. I'm sure Minister Lloyd would be ever so grateful if you could just aid the village. Everyone is terribly frightened. Nothing removes fear better than a good sword and a swift kick in the evil. We shall go to your village and do what heroes do. Right, Aiden? Forget it, Minsk. We're not running off to someplace. We have to go to the Omar Hills probably anyway, based on some of the little information we had from the government district saying that we, Valley Aragon, I can never remember his name, might be there. So, right you are, Minsk. You would? Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. When you get to Imsville, talk to Minister Lloyd. He can tell you everything else. Thank you, sir. We shall go and save the village for the boy. I will crush the evil, all of the evil, even the small Ronin-sized evil, even though that is more a boo's job. I hope you intend to go to this village soon, Aiden. A visit to greener lands would be welcome after our trek to the crowded city. Now, you got to remember, she is a druid, and she's an elf, so she's a harper. So her travels and voyages are usually out in the open spaces. So she's more familiar with those scenes than she would be in the city. So sometimes it does that. Camera takes a mind of its own.
This is worth it.
So this is the Temple of Joaquin, which you will find in pretty much every Baldur's Gate game, pretty much every city. Well, except for like special areas like the Underdark. But Joaquin is a true neutral goddess, and she, people who are pirates and scoundrels and rogues pray to her, merchants pray to her, because she's neutral. She doesn't take really a side, but she can offer a boon if she likes you. But she is missing. In the time of troubles when the gods were turned human, or not human, but mortal, she was one of those that, thought she was kind of clever and thought she could make her way back, and then ended up getting captured. So the events of the story are interesting, but I have a video for that too, so go watch that. This is Joaquin.
I'll see to it.
And he will tell you about the missing goddess.
I trust you are here in good faith.
Welcome to this altar devoted to our mistress of coin, Joaquin, she who smiles on all who trade. Is there something I might do for you? I thought Joaquin was dead. How can you still worship her? Dear boy, Joaquin is not dead. She is missing. The goddess of joy, Liara, grants power to her worshippers in her stead for now. And that's a great story too, because Liara, I don't know how to say her name, is acting as Joaquin's viceroy, basically. And whereas other goddesses or whatever would probably take over and say, this is my role now, and not give it up. She's a true friend. She is looking for Joaquin. She wants Joaquin back, even though she's perfectly capable of handling the situation and being the goddess of commerce. But she doesn't, that's not her thing. She's a great read if you ever take the time, but all these are minor gods, so they don't really have any impact on anything bigger. But if the people like her, then it means something. Some have abandoned our mistress for the god of caravans, Shaundakal, and others, but there are many who wait patiently for her return. I have faith. Joaquin is Am's patron, and when she returns, all that has ailed us will fade. You shall see. I've never thought of trade as something you could worship. I am sure that there are many who think as you do, dear boy. How then do you explain all the good that trade can be brought to the realms? Wondrous cities have been built, communications go between cultures throughout Toril, all because of trade. Without it, we would still be living in caves. And he has a point, if you think of like philanthropists and things like that, like somebody who has like who wants to do good, who wants to see the poor being fed, the children getting adopted, things like that. That can't happen unless you have the financial means to do that. That's Joaquin's role. So he has a point. But, but those that love coin also pray to her. But again, she's a true neutral. To many who ply trade, there is nothing more important in the world. Fortunes are made and lost under Walking's auspices. All right. Well, I'd like to see your services then. Of course. The Walkinar are always willing to serve at a fair and honest price, of course. Okay. So again, this is where you could actually increase your reputation overall. I've never really done much with it, but you know, if you kill a bunch of people and your reputation drops and you don't want that to happen, you can buy some of that reputation back. Okay. So let's see here. I still keep thinking I need to buy some stone to flesh scrolls, but I don't think we're going to be doing anything that really requires that. I will need some restoration scrolls at some point, but they're pretty expensive. He's not buying any of these, so he's a seller only. He doesn't really buy anything. So let's see if there's anything that we need to identify that's like make or break here. These are wands of electricity. If I try to sell these, you won't get much. You have to identify them first. So, but we'll identify them later. Warhammer. This is the one I need to identify. There we go. All right.
Have you ever heard of my people, the Avariel?
The Winged Elves? Very little. I thought they were all gone. Most of us were. According to what I remember my mother telling me, killed by the dragons before the first flowering. But some of us still survive in isolated places. My own people live high in the mountains in the far south in a place called Faina Dale, separated from contact with others. It was a grand and majestic place. My memory is dim, but whenever the thought of it crosses my mind, my eyes still blur with tears. Well, tell me more about your people, Ari. Our homes were open places of marble pillars and vistas from which you could watch the entire mountain range below. There was no place you could not spread your wings. We cherished the wind and the rains. We breathed in life, Aiden, and lived in peace with each other. There were distinct societies among us, as I remember. There were great aerial warriors who defended us, possessing glass weapons that radiated in the sunlight. And my own class pursued art and knowledge, building the great buildings and filling them with glorious wonders. It was... I'm sorry. I can speak of it no longer. I'm suddenly homesick, as silly as that seems. I miss so much. It makes me ache. I suppose I must seem very foolish to you. Yes, you do.
Give me some direction. I'm willing.
There's a lot of criticism about Ari, but I think she's got a good story. And it's not one that's often told because you don't hear much about her people outside of this game. Okay, so if you'll notice over here, here's Umar Hills. It says unreachable because we just have to get to the city gates first. But here's Windspear Hills. What we want to go to next is probably the docks. But I haven't been to the temple area yet, and I'm just trying to remember. I really want to come back to the slums. There's a lot of great stuff there. And the bridge is going to be interesting, but I think we're going to get into a fight. And I think there's a character there that I don't want to meet just yet. So let's go to the docks.
I am ready, I think.
Perhaps this is a good time to tell you something, Aiden. Seeing as you are leading us into the docks and everything. This is Shadow Thief territory, which I have a couple of run-ins with over the past few months. They don't tend to appreciate independent operators like myself. So the last time they caught me operating in the city, I was told either to report to the head of the guild in the docks, Reyno Bloodscalp, or suffer the consequences. Seems that Reynal needs an outsider to deal with the problem. He was willing to trade my punishment by the guild force service. Failure to go to him might be a bit messy. Now, I'm pretty safe with you. I think it's up to you. If we go and see Reynal, we might be able to talk to him into a reward, and I'll avoid complications later on. What do you think, Aiden? I don't want to cause any problems here. I just wanted to bring this up, both to warn you and perhaps mention a possible opportunity for us both. So, I feel super comfortable with me, Minsk, Jaheira. Minsk is like, you know, I can take him or leave him. Viconia and Eri, just powerhouses. So I don't really need Yoshimo. But he fills that 6th role, so we might as well keep him. But I really don't know who I want in that 6th role at the moment. I know eventually who I do want, and that would require going to the Temple District. Now I know who I want to go to the Temple District now. So we'll take it one step at a time, but we're in no rush. Very well. Perhaps we should go talk to this Reynal. Whenever it's convenient. The guild headquarters is here in the docks and shouldn't be difficult to find. I just hope they let us in without problems.
I'm waiting. I'm there.
Good business to you.
Beggar, you there, I know you. You owe Ibon money. Pay me now. I owe you money. How much are we talking here? As much as you want to pay me. I'm open to anything. Very well then. Here's a gold piece to tide you over. Well, that'll pay for part of your debt. I'll take this as a down payment. Camera. Yeah, it'll do that from time to time. It'll just take my camera from me. All right. Here we go. All right.
Swords, not words!
Minsk, go get him.
I await your need.
I don't think we have to worry about these guys too much, but I'm going to do this.
What do you need? I am skilled in avoidance.
Jezebel?
Jezebel? Let's see here. We don't have to do anything special with these guys, but I'm going to say hold person. Hold this person right here. I kind of want to experiment a little bit. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this. Quicken.
You require my counsel, yes?
Ustanza dost.
Stanza dost. Let's get this guy.
What can I do?
Eri, just throw some bullets at these people.
Hold still.
Mince and
Oh my!
Chunked him.
Give me some direction.
I'm just curious. How would you go rescue Imoen soon, since it doesn't take long to raise 20k, or do more of the quest and get her later? So because I'm doing this as a slow story presentation, it's probably a little bit of column A and column B. I'm not going to do it anytime soon. Really, once we decide to do spell hold, that's pretty much a commitment to leave the area. We won't be coming back anytime soon. So I'm probably going to do as many quests as possible and then save spell hold almost as kind of like at the very end of it all. Once we've exhausted a lot of our optional quests. And again, it's definitely not something that you have to do it that way. It's just the way I'm going to do it, just because we're going to be trying to present this in a, you know, here's what the story is, instead of let's just get through the story as efficiently as possible, because there's nothing wrong with that either, but it's just not how we're going to do it this time. But thank you for asking, CP.
Yeah?
Well, thank you for
It's
asking.
probably best left to me.
I'm probably going to change this now to this, now that we have a full arsenal of 6. I think Reno's in here.
Kneel and repent.
Mad Cleric. So, also, because of the fact that Bhaalspawn is in our presence here, we had, of course, the Dead 3. And in their absence, we have a god who's decided to step in and fill the role of some of that. And we have Cyric here. So when you see a reference here and there to Cyric, which you do see in Baldur's Gate 1, that's who that is. He's basically in the interim type, not really, you know how I was like talking about Joaquin? This is not like that situation at all. He's not a usurper. He's just taking a role that is open. It's vacant. But he's a very weird god. His followers are, well, all the followers for the Dead 3 are obviously selfish. They're focused on themselves. They want, how can they get over? But Cyric followers are just weird. They don't really have, like, they just presume nothing will ever happen to them. That they don't have to secure their presence. Like, hey, we are priests of Cyric and get out of my way type thing. They just don't have a good plan of keeping their station. It's just kind of hard to describe, but basically they're obviously kind of meant to go by the wayside. Bow, worm, and pray to the Cyric allows you to become one of his holy worshippers. Cast aside whatever false god you pray to and embrace the Prince of Lies and all his majesty. I will not convert to Cyric's worship or do anything else you ask. Then suffer cruelly as one of Cyric's chosen victims. Rawr! I mean, there's 6 of us, right? This is what I'm talking about. Cool, right. Either way works equally well. I'm not keeping her in the party, then I leave Spellhold until last. Right. And because this is kind of a story presentation, I don't normally keep some members of my party till that point, but in this case I will, because you will miss that part of the story if you don't have them. So
give me some direction.
Take this.
With vengeance.
Yep, that was quick.
I'm waiting. Hey, not a concern.
Explain your intent and make it good.
And now you there, you are a friend of Galen's. He says you're welcome to enter if you likes. I do like. This is Black Market Thief. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
I hope this is worth it.
Day for whatever you're after.
Good business, my lord. I don't think I've seen you here before. Perhaps you might be interested in looking at some well-priced goods that have fallen into my hands. Sure, let me see what you have. Most prudent choice, and one you'll quickly see is worth your while. All right, this will give us a chance to sell some of this stuff. Water opal. Sell those. And I think we have a bunch of, armor. Have I armored Laconia yet? I don't know, so I'm going to hold on to that. Sell this, sell this, sell this. Sell that. Ooh, keep the flail for now, because I don't remember if Laconia has been armed yet. So, dagger +1. Sell that. Potion of fire breath. I'll keep that. Let's see here. Short sword +1. Silver necklace. Sell that. Course that +1. Oh, I could probably put that on. Let's see here. Everything else nah. So what do we got here? What do we have that she could sell us? Go to the bottom for anything unique. Ice Storm. That's very good. We already have Fireball. Oh, and I need to learn the skull trap for Airy. Okay, so there's nothing here. We're good. Okay. Yeah, no, that can't do anything there. Let me give that to Jahira. No. No, that's not better. Okay, so what we have on is what is our best. So let's. I don't remember if she does. Yeah, no. Do that. Do Yoshimo. There we go. We'll just leave that there. We don't need that. All right. I think we're all set now. Yeah, fire breath potions are incredibly useful as they bypass the lich protections. You're not wrong. Yeah, keep one. I find on or I can buy. Yeah, there's so many like little like tricks and tips that you can do for various encounters, and it's really hard. Like once you have a bag of holding, then it's all just academic. But yeah, Shadow Thief, Sige.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
Good to see a like-minded friend to be.
Can I help you? What is this place? This place? Well, the guards let you in, so you must belong here. This is the guild hall of the Shadow Thieves. Let me bid you welcome, friend. I don't think I belong here. I don't know why the guard let me in. Yeah. More than likely, then, the Blood Scalp has business with you. The Blood Scalp? Who's that? Reno Blood Scalp runs this place. Chances are he has business with you if he lets you in. You can find him upstairs on the second floor. I'd watch yourself around him. I see. Well, who are you again? If you have to ask, you sure haven't been here long. I be Sige, one of the good fellows here in the Shadow Thieves. Shadow Thieves. Where am I? Never mind. Well, let's see. Okay, I see. Well, I'll be moving on, Sige. As you wish. Watch your belt pouch here while you're at it. Just a word of friendly advice is all. Okay.
Give me some It's done.
Now, second floor would be not here, I believe. Well, I think it is. Shadow Thief. Aha. Okay. So, let's go this way. As he said, second floor. Oh, we got to go to the door. Shadow Thief. Yeah, this way. Wait. Who's encumbered? Who is this?
Shaw guides my hand.
Oh, okay. Laconia's encumbered. Ah, it's because of this stupid armor. Okay. All right.
I'm waiting. I'm there.
All right.
What is it?
I think we're here. Shadow Thief. No, it's over here.
Yes, I'm still here.
My. If it isn't the freelancer Yoshimo, come to see me at last. I had nearly thought that the streets had opened up and swallowed you whole, dear lad. I am so pleased that you gave me any thought at all to my well-being, sire. It is always good to be remembered by one's peers. Well now, that would imply that you were one of my peers, as opposed to a ragtag independent infringing upon our territory. You are just too much, Yoshi. Yoshimo, if you please, sire. Where I come from, such a pet name is only used by, well, let us say that you and I have not become so familiar just yet, Point taken. Have you finally come to pay your debt for your recent activities, or are we to simply trade barbs until I'm forced to do something, hideous? I have come as you commanded, sire. you have a task for me. I thought I did, but it appears you have done something better. Your traveling companion is of interest, and you have brought him before me. My thanks. You will not endanger him, sire. It would be a poor treatment of my honor if my companion was brought to danger because of my debt. No, nothing like that, I assure you. Now, let me speak to your companion for a moment.
You'll have to excuse me if you're not quite what I was expecting. From all I've been told, I expected something grander.
And what exactly have you been told of me? Oh, I have been told many tales of your exploits, some bits of your activities here in Athkatla as well as further north. You must understand, naturally, that an organization like mine thrives on information above all else. He who is ignorant quickly becomes a target, and all that. I see. Well, wait a minute. Well, who exactly are you? You are the leader of the Shadow Thieves, I presume. My name is Reno, as I'm sure you've been told. Reno Bloodskout. A little nickname I've earned over time. Rather grisly, but it keeps the fearful in line. As an aside, I am not the leader of the Shadow Guilds as you perhaps mean, but I lead enough that it makes no difference to you. But this is irrelevant. What is it that you wish of me, then? Right to the point, Refreshing. I am sick of underlings who shift from foot to foot. Find a bit of directness to be a nice change. To be short, Galen recommended you, and I trust his word. I am in need of mercenaries to perform a particular task, and you are just the one to do it. Let's see here. What sort of work are you talking about?
Yes, the details. How shall I put this? One of my guild houses to the south is run by a rather ambitious fellow named Mavar. Good thief, but I never liked him. Now I know why.
I've had some hints that he is getting too big for himself. Thinking of taking my place, I suspect, but I've had no real evidence to say that this is so. Now, you're likely thinking, why not just eliminate him? Yes, I suppose I could. But without proof of betrayal, this would anger the other guildmasters, and then I'd have a war on my hands, and well, let it lie that I don't want that. Do not make us laugh, Thief Master. We have heard of your guild war. You would not approach outsiders of your own house who are strong and solid. So, where was I? Oh yes, your part in this. I would like you to go to Mavar and join his guild. I will give you the paper saying you were being transferred by the Shadow Master. You will spy on Mavar from the inside and find me the evidence that I need. Once he is damned with proof, you can take care of the nuisance and eliminate Mavar. One less headache for a busy man such as myself to be concerned with. You'll need to reassure Mavar naturally. He won't know who you are, but I'm confident that you are more than capable of this. What say you? Interested? Well, why don't you send one of your own men to do this? A fair question. Any of my available assassins or thieves are quite capable, and on a normal day I would not consider it necessary to look beyond my guild. In this one instance, however, my men are limited. I need someone of skill who is not one of the Shadow Thieves, someone more or less unknown to us, someone I trust like yourself. I see. And what would I be paid for performing such a service for you? Yes, so we all arrive at the point eventually. What's in it for you? Well, since this is a rather delicate mission, I have a rather unusual offer for you. I have been looking for someone of your particular talents and abilities. You have a reputation, and I wish to see if it holds true. If it does, then Mavar proves to be guilty, and of that I have little doubt. then you will have proven yourself to me fully. At that point, I would offer you the position which poor Mavar would be forced to vacate. How about it, Aiden? Interested in running your own guild house? Let's see here. Interesting. Very well. I agree to do as you ask. Excellent. I just hear Mr. Burns every time now. Excellent. I knew this would work out for the best. You remind me a bit of myself when I first arrived here. In case you're wondering, Yoshimo, this will ease your freelance activity debts. So long as you help Aiden, they will be overlooked for now. You are too good to me, sir. The first part that needs to be taken care of naturally is finding the evidence on Mavar. Here are the papers you need to present to Mavar's men to gain access. I'm sure I don't have to tell you to be careful, do I? No, I didn't think so. Just head to the storefront at the Central Docks area. Speak to the storekeep, Gorch. Show the papers to him, and he'll let you in the guild house proper. Work for Mavar as long as it takes to collect your evidence, and bring whatever you can find to me. I'll be waiting to receive it most eagerly. We do the bidding of thieves now. This churns my belly like a hamster running endlessly within a wheel. This can't be a good sign, Aiden. This is an excellent opportunity, Aiden, for all of us, for us all. Remember, though, that you must act as a loyal guild member at all times, or our cover will be destroyed. So, I think...
Yeah?
Yeah.
If it must be done.
I'm going to do this, which I think my... yeah, there we go. Turn off that trap. XP? The loot is good, but the XP is wonderful. Okay. Up 3 pearls. Ooh. Oh, and there's a little thing over here. Look at all that. Just some crossbolts and crossbow. Let's give this to Ari. Put these in our gem bag. Really want these bolts, but let me give anything I don't want that's a bolt to Yoshimo to hold. Yeah, I guess I don't need the short sword, but you know what? What if we get Nalia as our next member, but then we'd have to go do Nalia's mission, which I would not hate doing that. That's actually, if I'm playing this on my own, the first thing I'm doing is Nalia's quest for one specific reason, and if Banana is here, he would tell you exactly what that reason is. There is a specific weapon you can get there, and it is the most OP weapon in the entire game, and you can get it early. They don't give it to you. You have to do quite a few things, but it is the reason to go. Oh, look at that. Fire resistance. Hey, how you doing?
An excellent day for whatever you're after.
I like how they just let me walk around and steal from them, but they are thieves, so it's kind of consistent, you know? Like, you think you can steal from us? You can try. You know, you can try. Oh, nice. Potion of agility. What's on this table? Ooh, there's a the Tranian's Baylor Ale. I forget what that is for. Brew with pimentos for that extra kick. Okay. Let me give these to Viconia, because I need to make sure Viconia is handled. She's the love of my life. She cannot die.
Yeah, I hope this is worth it.
And in my Viconia video, my wife voices Viconia. So I naturally had to like get her to do it. So it makes sense, right? Here's our letter of transfer. This is a letter given to you by Reno Bloodscalp. It will gain you access to Mavar's guild house so that you may infiltrate his guild and find proof of his treachery. Nice. All right. We have... Oh, let's check out this table. Ooh, some more. That's a diamond and a garnet.
Give me some direction.
So the most worthless thing and the most valuable thing. Well, one of the most valuable things. There we go. Need a bag of holding. I forget where to get that.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'll see to it. It's done.
God, I love the environment and the immersion that this game can give you. The sound effects are just clearly on point. I've always loved this from the time I first played this. I was like, man, I really feel, because everything's hand painted. There's a lot of, all the imperfections that are in this game are just there. It's like these little things here. This is all hand done, and it's just amazing. Like, you see how like this border wall, it's crooked, but it just works. And when you played this on a CRT, because this game came out when we mostly had CRTs, we didn't have flat screens, that little bulge there kind of worked out. It kind of really felt like this winding staircase was 3D. It was just filled with immersion. Pribek's home. Temple. Here's Valigar's home. We might as well go here first because we can. But I don't think we're going to find anything here, but we're here, so... Hervo.
I'm there.
Yes? May I help you? You're not a friend of the Masters, are you? Not a friend exactly. I'm looking for Valigar, and I was wondering if I might ask a few questions. Yeah, the great artwork is why I worry about the BG remake just recently announced. So, I am too, but there were so many people, and Com does not agree with me on this, and I talk about it quite a bit. In hindsight, it's really hard to kind of nail down the history of these feelings and how things were at the time. But when BG3 was announced, I was like, because I had played BG 1 and 2 to death and thrown a ball, I'm like, how are you going to have a BG3? It doesn't make sense. I mean, there was a conclusion. There's a clear ending in BG2. But I said, you look, let them cook, as the kids say, let them cook. And you had a lot of people that were like old school, like, I don't know about BG3. And I leaned into that area. And then you had people who had never played those type of games. And were like, oh, this is a modern game. It's finally, yeah, this is really what we want. And then of course it ended up becoming Game of the Year, and it won tons of awards, and rightfully so. And I was like, I had played the early access from day one. From the very first time it became available, I kept up with all the media stuff. I saw some of the old videos. I saw where Larian was offered the rights to it, and what's his name, Sven, got completely excited. He was like running through the halls and announcing it to everybody in the department. They had a whole like video for that, and that was fun to see the excitement. But again, it was like there was a lot of concern. Are they going to live up to what the game really did for RPG and CRPGs to today's standards? Are they able to going to carve a niche the way the original games did? Then you also had like the newer people who had never played those games before, like, it's clearly it's going to make everything so dated before. So again, I'm like, I feel the concern. I don't know anymore when it comes to this stuff. So I just kind of like I said, let them cook. Maybe it'll be horrible, but guess what? It doesn't mean that these games go away. There will always have these games to fall back to. We can always play these games in the old format without any of the other modern versions of them. So it doesn't replace anything. It's kind of like if the KOTOR, which I believe is going to be coming out in about a year and a half, 2028, maybe the end of 2028. We'll see. So 2 years. But a lot of concern there is that, are they going to be able to feel that same feeling of the original KOTOR? Probably not. but that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. And that doesn't mean that it may not be game of the year type game. It's often hard to like win game of the year when you're a remake, you know, it's just difficult. You're already, even if you completely re-envision it and make it better than the original one, and it's just the best game of that year, you're probably not going to win game of the year. That's just how those work. But yeah, we'll see. Oh my, more people looking for Master Athkatla, is it? You are not one of those awful wizards, are you? No, I am not. Why? Why do you call them awful? The ordeal with the cowled wizards was just awful. They came here 2 weeks ago demanding to see Master Athkatla. I was just shaking in my shoes. I heard them upstairs. They demanded that the master do something, and he refused. I remember poor Master Athkatla was so upset that he was shouting. He was. There was a loud crash. Fighting. I was terrified when the wizards came back down the stairs alone. They said Valigar had committed murder and must pay. Master Athkatla had slipped away from them. The wizards told me not to say anything, but I am desperate with worry. Do you think the master is all right? I hope they don't feed the artwork with some AI and lose what made it special. You're not wrong, CP. I agree with you on that. But I do think it's like this, there's this whole belief like AI all or nothing type thing, right? And I don't think that that's the case. I do think that there are certain things that AI can do, like, you know, reading into the code and making sure there's not duplicate things that actually cause bugs. And if you can like get an AI to kind of read into those things, those aren't bad. Those are great features that make your ability to get your hands on a game sooner and less buggy. It's win-win, right? But there are certain things that sometimes are almost unmentionable. It's like, well, can you use AI art in for like, you know, kind of like, can you use it as an idea factory? Perhaps. But I'm not a developer and I don't get into those things. So I can't really argue one way or the other whether it's right or not. But at the end of the day, even YouTube has been calling on the AI slopification, because we as creators in YouTube, I work very hard. I write my own scripts. I have done some AI art just to kind of like fill in voids, because games like this don't have all the art in the world accessible anymore. And I don't want to use somebody's fan-made art and not give them 100% full credit. And even just reaching out to people and getting them to respond to say if it's okay is a nightmare. So here and there, I have used AI art just to kind of represent certain things, just to kind of give the visualization of the story I'm telling. But it is 100% my work. I write my own scripts. I do my own editing. I am an army of one when it comes to all that. But when they have the AI introduced for game development, I really don't have an ability to have a strong argument for or against, because I'm just not in their shoes. They have to, if they choose to do that, they have to own it. If they choose not to do that, they need to like say they didn't do it. And you know, it's just one of those things. Like, and so the people who buy their games just need to know one way or the other, and they can make a decision with their dollar. You know, you vote with your dollar and just move forward. So again, I'm not really for or against. I'm really, really neutral on it. But I am also of the type that, you know, I don't think in the creative process side of things, you know, like I said, mentioned before, writing the script, doing the narration, things like that. If that's 100% done by people and people are like coding things, I'm all for it. And if AI is kind of like helping them, like I said, making sure there's not duplicate code and making sure there's no bugs that can be easily squashed, great. That's really a tool. But we'll see. I don't know. You bring up a good point, CP. I just wish I had a better answer for that. But yeah. Let's see here. I'm not sure. But if the cowled wizards are after him, it is. I'm not reading this in Aiden's voice. I'm reading it in my voice. So let me try this again. I'm not sure, but if the cowled wizards are after him, it is likely he is in great danger. Are you sure you have no idea where he has gone? It truly puzzles me. I remember the family used to own some land in the Umar Hills. Perhaps the master has gone there. Is this helpful? It may be. Thank you. You're certainly welcome. Good business to you and good day. This reminds me a lot of the Dragon Age when you're looking for the priest in the city. God, I can't remember the name of the city. My memory for things is not the best, guys, and you guys know that. That's channel lore. My memory for names, it's not great. What is it? Danamor? I can't remember the name of the city. But anyway, you're meant to go find the ashes of what's her name? What's her nut? And anyway, you find the priest, and he ends up being dead, right? And there is a person who's impersonating him in his stead. This kind of reminds me of the same. So you kind of see the connection between some of their storytelling devices that BioWare did, because you have a lot of similar writers. They're not exactly the same in some of them, but you do have some, it's not like one. You have a main writer, of course, but they didn't write the entire thing. So there's definitely some influences that you'll see here and there.
It's probably best left to me. Give me some direction. What is it?
Oh yeah, and I was going to check to see if we have.
Never see me coming.
Oh, I accidentally put on stealth. Let's go to customize. I should have a script that is, thief adventure, and I've had this on, and it says the thief will constantly and to the exclusion of all else search for traps. But my guy is very rarely has this on, so I always have to turn it on. Anyway. Ooh, a book. The History of Dambrath. I did not read that one. I did see it in Irenicus's library, though. So. Corthala tax notice. Let's read that. This is a tax assessment for one Valigar Corthala. It lists holdings in the city of Athkatla and a cabin in the Umar Hills. Okay. Put that here, put that here. And then the history of Dambrath. All right, let's put on a little bit of music here. Let's do some BG3. No. There we go. The nation of Dambrath was formed out of a barbarian kingdom almost a half millennium ago by a powerful alliance of priestess Loviatar and the drow from the city of Tinflet. Now, I'm going to read the rest of this, but Loviatar is such a great lore god, and it's just so interesting. And you get to see a little bit in the first act in Baldur's Gate 3, and a lot of people do remember that scene. It's like, oh, that was, because there's a lot going on there. You have a lot of almost like BDSM type stuff going on, so it's pretty visceral the way that it kind of has an impact on players. But Loviatar, again, you'll see these common things, and when you start seeing like how some of these things are all connected, it just adds to immersion. Yeah, in 211 DR, fleeing from the destruction of their homeland by the then great kingdoms of Unther and Horand. Hold on, let me bring this down just a little bit. There we go. 4 tribes of the barbarians entered Dambrath. They found a coast where the dolphins danced and plains where the grass was long. They roamed from the borders of the walls of Haurua as far east as the current borders of Estegon. They soon became known as the Archaean, or People of the Wind. In 545 DR, Great War Chief Reinhar rose to lead the tribes. The halflings of Lurin were quickly enslaved, and several of the coastal cities of Durpar were captured or razed. Estegon fell to his rule, and eventually Reinhar turned his attention to Haurua. An army of 40,000 horsemen and a fleet of 50 ships mounted a coordinated attack, and even though Reinhar was able to get beyond the walls of Haurua and occupy the cities of Mithil, Galdel, and Zalsu, their magics proved to be more than a match for the invaders. Reinhar was finally defeated in a great battle at Solazir by this archmage Mycontil and his troop of wizards. Reinhar's son, Reinhar II, took command of the army and set out on a 2-month overland retreat. he arrived home with 1,000 surviving fighting men and no shaman. Reinhard II proved to be as good a ruler in defeat as his father was in war. He consolidated his forces and pulled home almost all of his troops, as he knew that the defeat made them tempting prey for raiders and encroaching monsters. This action allowed for the safe development of his peoples. And remember, wait. Let me, I got the wrong. I have a chat here that allows me to see YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so that went away for a second. But you remember, like in the events in Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3, you have like ogres and the goblins who have been filling a role because of the war that's been waging on the outskirts of things. So this is kind of consistent with like saying, hey, look, if you don't defend your borders, even when things aren't best, people will start to encroach. And that's what it's saying here, that raiders and encroaching monsters. And by the time of the 9th Reinhard was king in 802 DR, the Archaeans were fat and lazy. Reinhard IX, or Reinhard the Foolish as he is more commonly known, insisted on expanding his nation to gain more gold to finance his military campaigns. He ordered the mining of many rich lodes of silver and electrum in the Nolwatch Mountains. But before his plans of expansion could begin, the miners encountered the Drow of Tynlit. The Drow were outraged and began a steady series of raids and attacks on the Archaean strongholds. Whole villages were destroyed overnight, and no trace of the invaders could be found. Reinhard IX committed the foolhardy action of attacking the Drow in retaliation. While the Archaeans managed to get a force into the Drow city, this action only succeeded in uniting the normally chaotic Drow. For once, the full power of the Drow city was turned against an enemy. The battle quickly moved back to the surface. Reinhard's raiders were wiped out, leaving Reinhard with only a small portion of his original military. This was not enough for the Drow, who demanded total enslavement of the entire surface nation. The Archaeans resisted valiantly, but the war went on for 3 decades at a tremendous cost in life to both sides. Finally, the Drow had the Arcanian forces cornered at Baldur. Almost without hope, the defenders were overjoyed when a group of half-elven pilgrims appeared on the scene. The high priestess Kalthir Shintar offered to aid of her clerics to help defend the city, and Reinhard took this to be an omen from the gods. A priestess was placed with almost every company. Within a 10-day, the Drow struck. The priestesses did indeed prove to be of great aid, but to the Drow, every priestess turned on the Achaeans, and Kalthir herself slew Reinhard. The Drow were still weakened by the battle, and only the presence of the priestesses enabled them to win. Kalthir realized the unique advantage she possessed, made a deal that even the suspicious Drow embraced. Her priestesses would rule the land. In exchange, they would provide access to the surface for the Drow, trading weapons, slaves, and supplies. The Drow were delighted with this brazen offer from a surface dweller. Reinhard had been slain and the insult avenged, and after 30 years of war, the Drow were not particularly interested in Dambrath. They did insist, however, on taking the best captured males as slaves. Kalthir quickly agreed to this, seeing the males as an obstacle to her own power. Kalthir ruled for 205 years. She fulfilled her promise to make Dambrath the nation of pain, a bastion of evil in the realms. In her time, Kalthir saw the priesthood of Loviatar expand to thousands, and faith in the beast lords previously worshipped by the Archaeans was nearly eradicated. Many of the Archaeans were able to escape their new mistresses and flee to the Swagar. They resumed their most forgotten nomadic life. The priestesses of Loviatar continued to enjoy good relations with the Drow, and some even took mates, creating the race of Drow half-elves. These dark half-elves became known as Krinti, or Noble Ones. Most of the priestesses of Loviatar though many are mages as well. They consolidated their power, learning much of the area from the Shibboleth, or lower ones, as the Arcanes are now called. The capital of Dambrath was established as Cathar, built as Cathar's passing, and named her in her honor. Her death came at the hands of her daughter, Felina, who had grown tired of waiting for her mother to die. Felina ruled for only 5 years, however, before her own daughter, Catha assumed the throne in the same fashion. Catha ruled for 54 years, eventually falling in battle against a gold dragon. She died childless, and her niece, Melaneth, resumed her throne. Melaneth faced an increasing population and unrest among males who longed for a return to their prestige of old. Melaneth did not return their previous status, but she did make use of them. Fearing that the great nations of Mulharun and Unther might rise again, she decided that men would handle mundane tasks such as the defense of the kingdom. She was the first to name a male to the post of war chief. Sadalar the Krenti became the queen's consort. Widespread bribery and corruption characterized his term as war chief. He was, however, responsible for getting many privileges returned to their Arcanes. After Melaneth's rule, the Shibali were considered second-class citizens rather than slaves. I've never tried to read all the books in the game, but I did once through E-Keeper. Yeah. There's so many, like I said, there's so much connective tissue with all these lore references that it's a good idea, just, if nothing else, just to enjoy it, you know? Though males were granted more power during her rule, Melaneth also solidified the split between the sexes. While the rulers of Dambrath had been females, hold on 1 second. Yeah, for over 2 centuries, it was more because of the competence than gender. Melaneth, however, decreed that men could have no authority except over other men. The female-led hierarchy of Loviatar was quick to back this move. Many of the bravest and best men of the kingdom perished in raids on Estagon, Durpar, the bandit tribes of Veldorn, and against the Gnolls who had returned to the Nullwatch Mountains. Some even fought at the side of the Drow in their battle with the Svinverlin city of Aventine. Svinverlin is the Dwergar. The deep gnomes, the deep gnomes, so never mind, were destroyed, but so were the Sabali, not the Dwergar, it's the deep gnomes. The Drow and the Krenti were largely unharmed, and for their aid, the Krenti were rewarded with a number of Drow males to breed to their race. Melaneth took a Drow male as her consort to replace Sadalar, who had perished in the conflict. The Drow, Nim Ithig, fathered 3 daughters and a son. It was at this time that Melaneth began the isolationist policy that Dambrath still follows today. Melaneth ruled for 156 years, her daughter Ostil for 125. The current queen of Dambrath is Yanandra. She is known there as the Pirate Queen, for she has sailed as far as Zakara on pillaging raids. Yanandra has been ruling for 71 years and is beginning to show signs of age. She has 3 daughters as well, named Loatheron, Meltruel, and Hassafir. While she does remain extremely popular, especially to the Krentri, the children of leaders in this land are not known patiently to wait their turn. That's the history of Dambrath. I mean, that's just incredible. All this is written just to give you some immersion. And I gotta respect that. That's why I read these things. That's why I read it back in the day, and that's why I even read it now. It's just, to me, it's not just showing respect, but it actually, you know, somebody took the time to write these things. It's good. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me put this back on. There we go.
Yeah, I think I still have a stitch in my leg from lying in that coal cell we were in. It is good to be up and moving.
Now, this is what I was talking about before. These are kind of random. So when I'm recording for lore content, when I'm doing those videos like I did for Viconia, like I'm doing for Jaheira, I almost have to keep the camera rolling. I have to constantly record while I'm playing the game because you can't really force these things. You can force a relationship status in the coding, but you can't really force these random events. There are moments where you can kind of expect it, but that's why I have to kind of just constantly record while I play the game. I have a few pains from that incident myself, though I'm not as certain of the cause. I am not surprised. Arenicus seemed to have a special interest in you. I imagine he will not be the last, and I cannot blame him. I have an interest as well. As a harper, I mean. I wouldn't want you to think. Let's keep moving.
I'm waiting.
She kind of got over Khalid fairly quick. We've only spent a day with his knowing of his death. So, but we have to ignore that part, okay? That's not important.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
Let's see if he lets us loot this. We should be okay. Yeah.
Give me some. It's done.
All right. So I'm probably going to need to take a quick break just so that I can...
I'm there.
Oh, I despise them all.
It's Viconia. Just so that I can hydrate myself, because I've been talking for quite a bit. Yeah, I don't mean to bore you guys or nothing, but we are taking it slow. And yeah, I mean, if any of you guys have anything you want to discuss or ask or cover, we can definitely go over it. I don't pretend to know everything, like I said, but we can always look it up if we don't know. So, in my head canon, did you hear I must have been checking out the PC since Baldur's Gate 1? Player character, yeah. Kind of. She and Khalid are clearly in love. They are very close. But you kind of have a point, because her and Khalid are very opposite.
Everyone here seems so unhappy and severe. I'm so unused to living this way. In the circus, we always were cheerful. Or at least Uncle Quail was determined to be.
He used to say that a frown would never get anything useful done. I think everyone could use some cheering up. What about you, Aiden? I have more serious things to worry about, Ari. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're probably right. If only things were so easy. Whatever, I just don't go turning anyone into a chicken or anything foolish like that, yeah. I'll say this one, I'm not trying to be mean. You're probably right. If only things were just that easy. Yes, I suppose your recent life would leave little to laugh about. One day when this is all over for you, Aiden, and then maybe we can all laugh.
I'm waiting.
All right, so we need, and you'll notice this is a door we can go in, but it's not marked on the map. So you just have to decide if that's something you want to explore. It may lead to nothing, but it may lead to, if
it must be done,
some bandits. You never know. But I'm probably going to take a break here in just a minute, just so that I can. It is nighttime, so I kind of want to get to the docks because there's going to be a scene here too. There's a potential 2 scenes. I don't want to get too far and kind of mess things up.
This behavior must not continue. Feel the burning stare of my hamster and change your ways.
Okay, yeah. Going right here. So we can avoid a certain interaction over here. So we're going to go over here. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Right about here. We do need to level up of Viconia and Aerie and get their spells reallocated, but there is an inn over here, and we'll probably go to this inn that's right here. Let me see here. What do we got? The books are all right. I felt they did much better job with the Neverwinter Night One books. That is a reference I have not heard in a very long time, Leon. You're not wrong. Shame they couldn't include achievement or some riddle quest about a particular book or seems like such a waste. Such a waste. I think that's my Thulsa 2.
Now they will know why they are afraid of the dark. Now they will learn why they fear the night.
Look at the strength of your body, the desire in your heart. I gave you this.
I gave you this. I cannot do James Earl Jones. Nobody can. Nobody can. Look at the strength in your body, the desire in your heart. Yeah. Nobody can do James Earl Jones. He's one of a kind. Thought you meant the BG-1-2 book at first, not like the books in the game. Right. Yeah. No, the books outside of the game, to be fair to the writer who did it, they're not great books, okay? But he didn't know much. He was not given much information before he was, given the task of creating the books for it. So they're not really consistent. There's a lot of inconsistencies to it. So I wouldn't take it as canon or anything like that because, again, it's not his fault, but he wasn't given much information about the games before he was commissioned for the writing of it. So there's a disharmony there. But yeah, soon we will have 3 version of BG2. Yeah, 3rd version, the original Beamdog and the one they were working on. But yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to that Warlock game. I when it came out, there was a lot of hype for it. We haven't heard much since, but I have high hopes. I mean, I really need a Warlock that means something. I am critical of Will. Although in early access, Will actually had some good things going for him. He was much more terse. He seemed to have a little bit more development behind him. He really seemed like he had a great foundation. But what they ended up changing everything for him, there's so many holes I can poke holes in him all day. But we're not gonna do that. Let's go to Laconia, level up. Let's see here. Flail, probably. Yeah, Flail. She will get, let's see how. She gets the additional weapon proficiency, a bunch of saving throws, Thaco reduction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. And then Aerie, let's level her up. We want to give her single weapon, probably. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do. Yoshimo, let's level him up. Give him I don't know, 2-handed weapon for the fact that he uses a bow. We'll do Find Traps. So as long as he's with us, he's useful. But that's the only thing he's useful for. Let's see. Yeah, Abdul seems like a strange name. The default name of the fighter class is Abdul. Oh, no, yeah, Abdul. I mean, like you said, I don't hate those books. They're just, I remember talking to Com on the podcast about it and also Banana. And they were like, yeah, I just haven't had time to read those books. I know it's out there. It's probably a lot of lore I'm missing. I was like, you're not really missing anything. They weren't really intended to be a companion to the game. They were meant to just kind of be their own little thing for promotional material. I don't think people really would have, you think about it in hindsight, like you have this lore-based game that has all these details and all these beloved characters, and then you kind of like have a game you have a book like that, and it's like, it didn't really hit, Tried Dark Alliance 2 last week. Enjoyed the first half, last half understandable. Yeah, it just went bankrupt. There's no Fallout sequel. BG Alliance 3. Yeah. I just started the new Planescape mod, Blizzard in Baitor. Pretty good so far. Only Act 1. I'm impressed. Planescape is got to be the second for me, and we're just talking about purely subjective thoughts here.
So,
Ooh.
what draws you to this part of Faerun? Athkatla. I seem to recall you mentioning something about a mission or some bother.
Planescape is the second most philosophical game I've ever even come across, and there's like a distant third. But the first one is Nier Automata, and then it becomes like Planescape. But Planescape covers so many little things that it's really kind of hard to categorize it. But there are so many things that you learn from just playing the game of Planescape that are important. But to me, Nier Automata is just, there's nothing like it. Yes, it's an action game, and yes, there's all these like really great things that they're doing in the game, but there is a lot being said there. It's kind of like Blade Runner. If you understand what Blade Runner is trying to say from a philosophical standpoint, it's pretty deep. And Nier Automata is pretty much on the same path of trying to talk about the same things. What does it even mean to be a human, not let alone an android? Can Planescape be categorized as a book rather than game? 2.2 million words, right, is more than War and Peace by Tolstoy, and that shit has 5 tomes. Well, War and Peace, unfortunately, with Tolstoy, an entire middle section can be taken out. You can just throw it out. He did it for immersion purposes, but the entire middle section of War and Peace is the French Revolution. And all the details in it has no bearing, has no details, no connective tissue at all to the story. Wait a minute, I said War and Peace. You said War and Peace. I was thinking Les Miserables. Miserables by but no, that was totally thinking of a totally different game. Tolstoy is War and Peace. So yeah, I totally got my facts. Ignore everything I just said. Yeah, I just ran into Hair Delise in the Planescape mod. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's great, because if you have played Planescape and you see some of those other characters, it's like, hey, I know this guy. Oh, yeah, I just embarrassed myself there. Got the total wrong book. Anyway, well, oh shoot, I'm so used to saying the second one, because I'm always romancing Vaconia. But this says, I need to know who captured me, for what purpose, and what they have in mind for Emowyn, because this is a very driven answer. But this one's like, I have to rescue Emowyn. She's been my companion since I was young. And that she doesn't want to hear that. So we'll say that. Why would you be so concerned over prattling an adult teenager? Knowing or not, she's the little sister I never had, and I love her like one. Well, she's been my closest friend since childhood and a loyal companion. I'll do the first one. Late hour, though, on the mind game. I wonder why they made Vaconia Jaheira romance so hard relative to Aerie. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they are characters in BG 1 and 2, and not just 2. Aerie is interesting because I think if they really could do it over again, you might make Aerie the formulative romance as the canon romance. Why? Because I really think that going into BG3, you could have exploited that and said, well, if you have, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, guys, but if you can kind of culminate the romance that you have with Aerie, that's a lineage. And that's something that can be taken into the next game. And that's not something that's possible really in with Jaheira or Vaconia. However, there is one path with Vaconia that could, but they clearly didn't. Larian chose not to look at that, and I think that was a mistake. And I think that you could have really taken some of the final words that Throne of Ball did about Vaconia and actually made her a better character. I have a lot to say about that, but this is not the time or the place. But I like her. I like her as a little sister. The perception of sibling relations is peculiar on the surface, Aiden. In the Underdark, brotherly love can take a far more sinister tenor. It's ordained by custom that thinning the familiar herd should be exercised. Killing or maiming your sibling is a commonplace as bearing children. Simply, love is a cruel mistress and family, sadly an afterthought. I envy your bond, Aiden. It's truly inspiring.
Yeah?
Yeah. I felt they butchered Czar in BG2. I don't. Czar, oh man. Yeah, we're gonna get to that here probably in just a second. Always liked the guy. Made him cleric with the Tome of Wisdom last time I played. They probably did him as dirty as they did Sarevok in BG3. Haven't played it though. And there was some people that actually had problem with Sarevok being in BG3, and I don't actually have that problem, because if you do throw in a ball and you bring him back, you have to remember he does have a piece of the essence with him. And if you actually explore the lore of who the characters are in the ball portion of the Dead 3, it's pretty wicked. Sarevok has been doing some really nasty things, but that's in line with his character. And so I can appreciate Larian for doing that. They just didn't develop it enough to where people could really recognize the impact that he was doing and some of the things that he was doing. Again, I won't get into spoilers just yet, but when you talk about Sarevok, he is an evil character. He is helpful in throwing a ball. He's definitely okay. He's an A-tier companion, in my opinion. He's not S-tier, but he's definitely A-tier. He's limited, right? But if you need a warrior who's going to be just a DPS demon, yeah, that's your guy. But in the Baldur's Gate 3, there's just not, just like Viconia, there's enough there to get you interested, but they didn't land it. They didn't stick the landing on those things. Prefer they add Baeleth to Baldur's Gate 2 rather than lesbian vampire. Those weird wild mage Nira quests in BG2. Nira. So Nira's her own thing, and I just don't like how long it is. I think Nira's okay. I think the information that we get about the red what are they called? The red mages. What are they called? Red wizards, like Edwin. And I think Edwin was somebody that they should have brought back in BG3. There was a perfect place for him there. There's a lot of information you learn in the first act of BG3 and the road to Baldur's Gate. And if you remember anything about Edwin and what he was trying to accomplish, I mean, it's really in line with a character that you meet in Baldur's Gate City in the well, again, I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but there is a certain area that you have, and again, I don't want to say it's impactful because it really isn't, but it is a side story that has a lot of content. And if they had simply inserted Edwin there, it'd been like, oh, there's our connection, and it would have been a really good connection. Frequently, I skip the entire Nira quest. I just can't stand wild magic. Banana says that too. Banana doesn't like wild magic. He likes, a known outcome. If he selects magic missile, he expects to see magic missile. Yeah, could have made him romanceable in Edwina. The OG fans would enjoy that. That is so good. That is such a great reference. You're not wrong. I wonder how that would play out. Like, just keep him as Edwina and then a romanceable option in BG3. And the player character would not know the difference. Oh boy. Yeah, that's funny.
Probably best left to me.
There's Gorch. How you doing, Gorch? Baeleth and BG2 would have been great with them, and Viconia in the party. Yeah.
Hey, not a concern.
I'm gonna save right here because I don't remember if there's anything that could go bad here.
Welcome to my humble establishment.
It's not as bad as Hexat's. Did anyone have a cow fall as a wild mage? So Hexat, here's the funny thing. I forget the name of the character that you meet before you get Hexat, before she becomes Hexat, but I really like that character. She was this, rogue character, thief, I guess. And she was just basically a sacrifice to bring you to Hexat. But I like that character. I really liked her. Hexat is very useful in especially if you're playing on the full tactical type gaming. But she's just not for me because I usually play Thief. So yeah, pure racist party. Corrigan, Viconia, and Bailiff. Those races are always overpowered. But I mean, Viconia does have an arc. So, but yeah, is she racist? Yeah, all Drow are though. You know, they just are. They think that theirs is a superior race no matter what. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of things they do that don't have very many bad traits about them other than their inability to see beyond the obvious sometimes. But you know, here's the funny thing. I brought this up a little bit in my Viconia video, is that I saw so many arguments of saying they did Viconia dirty because look how ugly they made her and this and that. I'm like, I'm not going to entertain that. But if Larian knew their lore, and I'm pretty sure they did, and I don't know where this got missed, the Drow are bred for manipulation. And one of their manipulating traits is to make an extremely beautiful race. And they use that as a tool. So if they had made Viconia the most beautiful character in BG3, somehow, like just aesthetically, just made her just like gorgeous, that would have been in line with the lore. But I couldn't say that was their intention to make her look the way they did. But I don't know what they were thinking. Like, because they could have erred on the side of, let's just make her just so unique. And it would have been on par with the lore. That's what I would have encouraged them to do. But BG2 Underdark was so much better than Neverwinter Nights. Oh yeah, of course. Neverwinter Nights was not a hit. And for me, it's because of the party mechanics. It wasn't designed for an actual storytelling game. It was designed to be a dungeon mechanic so that you could play with your friends or create a campaign of your own. It was never intended to be kind of like a great storytelling game. So the Underdark and Neverwinter Nights just falls flat. But is the BG3 Underdark better than the BG2 one? Oh yeah, I think so too. BG. Oh no, okay, so that's a good question, Leon. No, I don't think the BG3 Underdark is better than the BG2 one. However, I do think the BG3 Underdark serves a better paced storytelling mechanic. There's a lot of things you do in the Underdark in the first act of BG3 that are very helpful to define what, you know, the Faerun and how different parties interact with each other and the lore of some gods and goddesses, and you get to expand the idea of Shadowheart and her relationship to Shar and things. That's all in the Underdark. So it's really hard for me to say it's not better than the BG2, but for me BG2 has a lot of, it's all optional. You know, you can skip the Underdark pretty much entirely, but there's an imagination there. You know, it's the mind's eye. The way you perceive the Underdark in your head in BG2 is more visceral because you have to imagine it, you have to think about it, you have to displace yourself into that location, and then you're in the Menzoberranzan and you're in this Drow city, you're back to where, well, not Menzoberranzan, but you know what I'm saying, in the Drow city. And so you're there with Viconia, and there's this element that you can smell it almost, whereas the Larian's version is story driven, but it's actually at the same time it's telling you the story and showing you the story, and you're not having to use your imagination too much, so it's forgettable too, if that makes sense. Yeah, let's say her BG1 is horrible though. The voice of Angel, but the portrait of the devil. Yeah. What is Viconia's charisma in BG3? Did her appearance roughly match her charisma? No, she's not charismatic at all. She is, so the 5e rule set the charisma is important, but it's not her main thing, it's wisdom. So she's a high wisdom, moderate charisma character. But she is the leader of the Sharites in that area, that region. So that makes sense, but she rules based on her wisdom. I have a lot to say about it in my video, so go check out my video, y'all. But it's not till you get to like my final thoughts and like really the BG3 portion. So if you know the story of Viconia, you don't have to watch that whole thing. But at the very end of it, the last 30-45 minutes is I go over the BG3 stuff in a more condensed version. Man, I got here late. Hey, Master, how you doing? Welcome on in. You're not late. I just happened to stream a little bit earlier today because I kind of cleared the schedule a little bit. How are you doing? Good to see you. Take a look around if you wish. I'm Gorch, the humble proprietor of this modest establishment. What is it you sell? I sell many things. Things sold to me by those in need, from trinkets to heirlooms. Gorch has everything of taste and necessity that you may desire. Let me see what you have available. Naturally, Gorch is here to please. Might you be interested in this elegant hat? Quite the fashion in Waterdeep. No? Well, by all means, look around. I want to sell some stuff, so that's why I want to do this first. Let's see here. Because I need the money. Let's sell that. And I think I can now sell some of those pieces of armor. Yeah, like this stuff. Shield. Yeah, because she's dual wielding her scimitars. Short sword. Ooh, I might keep the short sword if I get near a yeah. Let's see here. No, we're good there. Sell that. I think we're good. Okay. I'm going to save. I'm going to do a hard save right here. Hold on. Don't want any corrupted files. It's hot and I work outside. Very tired. Sorry to hear that, Master. It is very hot, and we're both in Texas, and it's been like over 100 degrees consistently for the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's supposed to be that way for the next 2 weeks still, and that's normal here. In July, August, I mean, we'll go an entire month without rain and just stay over 100. It's just miserable. But yeah, Chapter 3, Baldur's Gate 2, Underdark, probably the most memorable part. The Beholders, Illithids felt like a real danger on the first playthroughs. You're right. Yeah, -2 intelligence hit of Illithids made hit and run tactic mandatory. Yeah, it was like fireball. Just stay in the corner, fireball. Yeah, what I meant about Sarevok is that in BG2 you can turn him good, yes, and have a certain ending, which is the opposite of what happens with him in BG3 again. Feels like Quell in BG1. But I will say, several years go by, and there's no influence to keep him good. So he doesn't really have an alignment change necessarily. So he can be overpowered by his essence, and that essence is Bhaal. So it is possible to see his corruption back to, an evil side. And suddenly Quell in BG2 is a wise, good, caring soul. Didn't make sense. Yeah, but Quell is Quell. That's all I can say about that, Quell's Quell. It doesn't really matter.
I'm waiting.
Welcome to my humble establishment.
Was beyond the door at the back. Hey, Bree. How you doing? Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Hopefully you're staying nice and cool. It is way too hot outside. Oh, that door, just the entry of my own humble abode. Let me show you a fine piece of Symbian jewelry imparted to me by an unfortunate merchant. I'm not here to buy anything. I'm here to see Mavar. Ah. Why did you not simply say so earlier? You have something written for me, yes? Yes. Everything appears to be in order. You can see Mavar through the door in the back. So nice to meet you, my good friend. So, let's see here. It says, I have gained access to Mavar's guild through Gorch, his storefront operator. There is a door in the back of the store that has apparently leads to the rest of the guild house. So far, so good.
Yeah.
I do need to rest, though, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't...
the customer is always right.
Can we rest here? No, we can only buy wine. Let's, he's got some expensive stuff here. Let's buy some wine. The Shadow Thieves run the docks district. Anyone who goes there should pay heed to them or Suffer the consequences. Minsk, I need you to drink something. Rasmussen mead. Ah, crap. Jerry, you have some. Okay. The colony of New in Mastika is growing dangerous. The natives are rebelling against their masters. The council might send in reinforcements. Ooh.
Give me some direction.
Yeah, for beforeigners, you can sometimes get away without the shield if you have everyone with a good missile weapons. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bree. Yes, and I tend to just get the shield and just put it on easy mode. I'm not trying to make life hard for myself. I just save up enough to get that shield and then just move on. It works exceptionally well. And that's not the only place you'll find a beholder, so, you know.
It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's this door or...
there.
Yeah. Huh. Gorvin.
Explain your intent and make
What
it
is it?
good.
Is there a fire? What's the trouble? Who are you? Me? Name's Gorvin. I don't suppose you have a bottle of Rotgard stored away in there somewhere, do you? Suppose not. Who are you anyway? I'm Aiden. I was transferred here. Transferred, eh? That was bloody quick. Lynn not even being cold or nothing. Well, good to meet you, Aiden. Could you tell me where Mavar is? Well, he's gone down to the cellar, he has. Working on poor old Lynn, he is. Mighty shame that. Gotta be a battle around here somewheres. May I ask who you are? Me? Wait a minute. Who are you? Never mind who I have to go. I didn't miss you before you talked to me, did I? Or did I? Terrible thing losing your memory. My medicine's got to be here. I just had it. I'm sure. It sounds like me.
Give me some direction.
I got memory problems too. Here, let me just take this off your hands. And this right here. Zintrus.
Explain your intent and
I don't recognize you. What do you want? I'm looking for Mavar. He's downstairs, doing what he loves best, of course. It's what he always does to unnerve newcomers. You'd be expected to go down there and speak to him while he does it naturally. See? And who are you? I'm Zintrus. And let's get this straight now, so there's no mistaking it later, all right? I'm the senior cut purse. Me. Not nobody else. Try to slide on me, and I'll stick you. Got it? Sorry. Hold on. Let me go back up. I wanted to do a playthrough of BG1 with the most useless NPC. Garrick finished the game with him once. Ski, yeah. Eldoth never tied them. Quail and the thing I like about Ski is she has family in Baldur's Gate, and that actually has some interesting lore ties. It's not anything major, but you can get away with some stuff because she's a relative of the people that are, holding you prisoner. With the SCS, the battles use telekinesis to take the shield. Yeah, I get that, but that's not a core game. I love mods, I really do, but I don't do all that stuff. This is the game the way it was designed, and I just kind of play it that way. I mean, if I really, really want to ask for some punishment, I just watch Bogu or somebody and do all that stuff. I'm not here to make my life more stressful than it is. Same, there isn't an option on Beamdog's BG1 to make Saravok like the original one. 100% Mr. Pure Powerhouse. More attacks than Drizzt probably. Yeah, but you're also kind of limited by the level, So the level is kind of, the line in the sand, so maybe. It's just for people who have finished the game at least 5 times. Oh, yeah. I mean, I get it, yeah, but I don't want the punishment. I mean, I play other games on hard mode. I play Mass Effect on Insanity, not because I like the punishment. I really, truly cannot play it in a lower setting and feel like I'm not on story mode. So it just depends on the game, of course. I remember cheesing with summoning one in OGBG1. 50 summons limit was much better than, say, 6. No idea why they did that change route. Yeah, I really enjoyed being bailed out of jail because Shatil is also Angela's daughter. Yes, exactly. Yeah. My last playthrough of BG1 used a great mod named Shades of the Sword Coast. One section adds a BN. A BN. A bunch of beholders, but a great pocket plane hideout as a reward. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Sure. Let's see. Are you trying to threaten me? No, of course not. I'm just trying to inform you of the ranks is all. Okay.
I'm waiting.
Here's Shadow Thief. He's just a normal Shadow Thief.
It's probably best left to me.
Oh. Spell of invulnerability. Here is a history of the Chosen of Mistra. I think I read this already. Hold on. Yeah, we read this one already. So we're good.
Yeah? Hey, not a concern.
Shadow Thief. Let's put
Give me some direction.
This. And
victory shall be ours. You know this.
You know this. Can't play them. I put the game on the hardest slide, and as a mage, I think I attacked with the rats on the staff. And after 30 minutes, returned to the player character. The rat was injured. Yeah, I played them all so many times. I just use mods and play on insane. Yeah, this is what is Shades of the Sword Coast. Well, I'll let you answer that, CP.
I'm waiting.
I'm not as familiar with, but I have heard of it.
I hope this is worth it.
History of the Fateful Coin. So I think this is about Joaquin. Let me see here. Oh, no. But this is important. It's the Lady Luck one. This is really interesting. You can kind of like recall some of the story details in this game and BG2 and related to this Fateful Coin thing. In the loosest of sense. But there's a lot of things that happen in Faerun that if you know what this concept is, then it kind of helps to kind of like tie those connections. Let's see here. I think I already did this one. No.
Yeah.
It's a great mod by Lava del Vortel on his Weasel mods. Okay. I mean, like I said, I have heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
Okay. Pearl necklace and an antidote. I need to get a thing to hold the drinks. Let's. Oh no. Let's give this to Minsk. Give this to Airy. Put that there. Wait, what is this? Agility, right? Yeah, okay, so we'll need to keep this. But I need a potion holder. Yeah. I need a potion holder. And what was this again? Destroyer the Hills. This is versus crushing attacks. Let me give this to Viconia, because this won't change anything for her. And she has lots of inventory space. I probably need to start giving her things. So I always love that so many people are still making new content for these games 25 years later. Well, I mean, you know, the code isn't super difficult.
His day.
And especially with the enhanced version. That's why, like, I'm not super critical about the enhanced, because at least it makes it easier for us to play. I really wish somebody had done something like this for KOTOR, because it's not the easiest to get to fire up. I love this area. Getting what feels like 50k XP from opening locks. Yeah. One time I forgot last few were trapped and had to do it all over again. Somehow didn't mind. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always have to check for traps and stuff, but I should have this on default, but it's not doing it, so it's fine. It's fine. All right. Okay, this is History of the Drow, which we've already read. It doesn't have a conventional one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a magical lock.
I'm there.
Any shy. Any shy. Any.
Give me some
You
direction.
say that in the Jar Jar
if it
Binks
must be
voice.
done.
Oh, Annie. Let's see here. Yeah, too bad Viconia doesn't say anything when you pick up History of the Drow. Well, and see, therein is interesting when you do like Baldur's Gate 3. You do find certain tomes that are in the Githyanki language, and you can present those to Lae'zel, who does, help you embellish upon the foundations of the lore, and not only her story, but also just the bigger picture of the Githyanki. Because I was shocked that there were Githyanki in PG3. I was like, how on earth are we playing with a Githyanki? This should not be. This should be impossible for us. Okay. I hope a good enough level. You know what? In the meantime, I think I have.
Where shall I display my skill and
Yoshimo.
expertise?
He's got
I'm waiting.
better ability to see traps than I do.
It's probably best left to me.
Okay. But I also don't trust him. Oh, it's glorious XP.
Armored, sharpened, and raring to go.
If memory serves, I can dance on the head of a pin as well.
Yeah? Hey, not a concern.
Too bad they didn't do voice to Planescape Torment. Yeah, reading a book in 2026. I wanted voice, probably to be 50 plus GB more because of the amount of voice MPs. Gigabytes. Yeah, you're right. Perhaps. Okay, so let's go over here.
So this night? Fleet of foot and all that.
Aha! There
Give
they
me
are.
some direction. I hope this is worth it.
Look at that. Nice. So let me put this here. Let me put that in there. The real illusion here, the one thing that the game tries to sell you on, is that you'll notice how like the rewards get higher and higher up these doors, and so it's kind of like give you a false sense of security. But they do give you a potion in case you're too low in your thieving skills. They give you 3 potions. Nice. Nice. Ooh, a rainbow one. It's worth a lot of money. This is a rogue stone. Sorry, not rainbow. A small, shifting, rainbow-colored iridescent gemstone. The fluid shades of color appear almost liquid under normal sunlight. It is truly a beautiful sight to behold. Rogue stones are extremely rare and are used for the Djinn Jump spell, hence one of the most sought-after gems in the realms. Let me put that here. Let's see here. That. There we go. And this is the, what is this? This is studded leather armor 1. We're going to give this to Viconia. This is just a buckler 1, also Viconia. And this is just I think this is just a short sword +1, I think. No, 2, +2. So yeah, so if we get Nira, this will be something we give to her. Put these in the scroll here. Oops. Right to magic. And I haven't done this. I haven't been pulling out my scrolls and learning things. Like I need to learn Skull Trap. I don't think I can learn that. Air Elemental Armor. Fiend. Backpack. Let's try to learn. I gotta learn Skull Trap. This is like, we gotta learn this. We got it. Okay, good. Okay, so we can learn that. Blindness, pretty good spell, to be honest, but it really just depends on when you get it cast. I like putting it on archers, but they somehow always hit me anyway. So look at that, we got them all. Nice, tons of XP, tons and tons of XP. All right,
I'm waiting.
Did I do this one already? Don't remember. Yeah. Okay.
Yes?
Why, hello there. If it isn't a new face, how very thrilling. Who are you? Well, the real question here is, what is your name, darling? I could tell you that my name is Annie Shy, but that would prevent me from hearing the delectable tones of your name first. My name is Aiden. Pleased to meet you. Aiden, how utterly delicious. She's like the from The Witch. Would you like to live deliciously? I shall recite it over and over to myself in between each of our meetings, which I do hope will not be too far between him. Could you direct me to Mavar? Well, just go down those stairs over there and you'll find Mavar engaged in the business of information extraction. Forcible extraction, that is. All right, I'll be on my way. Already? How sad. All right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll see to it.
I feel like I'm going up, not down.
It's done.
Why does that feel that way? Okay.
Give me some direction.
And then Yoshimo.
I'm ready. Yoshimo is willing.
I need a new computer. I could run BG3 on lower settings, but maybe for Christmas. Yeah, I've been building my own computer since, oh man, the mid-90s, I should say. But I did play Baldur's Gate 2 on a Gateway 2000. I got a pretty good deal on one. And back in the day, it required a Pentium 2. Well, I say it required. It said the recommended settings, the lowest settings was a Pentium 2, and I forget all the other requirements. But I didn't have them. I didn't have the minimum requirements, and it still ran flawlessly. But you got to give it to BioWare for back in the day saying, look, I mean, if you got a potato computer, you're still going to be able to run it. And I could. I was really disappointed because I wanted to play this game so bad, and I was worried it would not work. And I just fired it up to see. Made no difference.
If it must be done.
History of the Bell in the Depths. Now we're good. We don't need that one. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Okay. Over here. It's just a regular dagger. History of the Drow Part 2. We already read that. This is History of the North. We don't... we should do this.
What do you need? You're right behind me, right?
Give me some direct... What is it?
Ah, good sword. I think that's a sword +2, I think. History of the North. Let's see. Bastard sword. Yeah, I think this is a bastard sword +2.
I'm waiting. It's probably best left to me.
Okay. Yoshimo?
Yeah? Hey,
come
not
with me.
A concern. Give me some. I hope this is worth it.
You require... Very well. Hiya!
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'll see to it.
Oh, nice. Okay. We're almost done looting the entire place. I think this door out here just leads outside. Ooh, a spear. Okay, good. This is protection from magical energy. Give that to Ari. Oh, she's too far away. Of course.
Yeah.
So then we'll go back down. We should be able to go try to talk to Maeva. Oh! Who's over encumbered? Is this Jaheira? Viconia. How are you over encumbered, Viconia? Oh, it's because of this stupid armor again. Okay. I guess we'll give that to Minsk. Buckler +1. I don't know. I don't really care for the quarterstaff, but I mean, if I find, if I find like a mace or flail +1, I'll probably give that to Viconia. I might even give her the Flail of Ages. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. I'll just have Viconia hold this. What? Okay. I'll give this to Jaheira. How we looking? Yeah, Bastard Sword 1. So that's nothing. Okay, we can definitely sell that.
Give me some It's done. I'm waiting. I'm there.
Sorry, just give me 1 minute. Just got some stuff we're doing here at the house, but let me go back in here. I thought I could take a shortcut here, but I guess not. Let me go over here.
If it must be done.
And everybody kept saying, he's over there. And I kept going upstairs. Yeah. Thank you, Leon. Did you see the BG1-2 video about spells meaning in Latin? I didn't see that, but I already knew that they were kind of in Latin. Makes one feel... How did I end up... What?
It's probably best left to me.
Hold up. Oh, here's the... Where's the stairs?
Hey, not a concern.
Where are the stairs? They're right here. Okay, there we go. Finally.
I'm willing.
It's right here, probably. Yeah, right here. Though it is great, but I skipped the last upgrade because of free action. True. Goodness.
I hope this is worth it.
Where?
Yeah,
what am I missing?
I'll see to it.
Guys, what is going on here? Okay. Okay. So, hold on. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I came upstairs, and that's where my problem is. I'm supposed to go downstairs. But don't see... I don't even remember. Where is our downs? Oh, it's right here. Jeez. Okay. I zigged when I should have zagged. Here we are.
I'm there.
I'm there. Okay. Let's see here. No, I just love Flow of Ages. so much. I really wish it was in Baldur's Gate 3. Well, it actually is. It's unforgettable though. They made a super wonderful weapon completely useless in BG3, and I did not understand that. I'm like, why? Why did you guys do that? And if they had given some kind of lore reason as to like, okay, so something happened and something sucked all of the power from it, something happened, that would have been okay. But they just kind of like, oh, you found the Flow of Ages. Congratulations, it's junk. It's like, what? Why? Why would you guys do that? Anyway. But I will, let's see what's going on here. I may have to kind of call it right here. I know I've only been streaming about 3 hours, and I intended to go much longer, but I have some stuff here I've got to get done. As you guys know, probably channel lore, I mean, we take care of my mom who has dementia, and she's been pretty sick lately, so we have to juggle quite a bit. So I either get to like record, edit, or I have time to stream. So that's why you probably won't see any schedules from me. I just don't have the ability to. But the other thing is too, for my YouTube stuff, I never take on any sponsors. I probably never will. I don't think you guys should be subjected to ads on top of ads. YouTube already gives you enough ads. You don't need ads from me saying, oh, sign up with so-and-so for this discount or something or another. You don't need that. You don't need to hear sponsorships in the middle of something you want to watch, right? So you'll probably never get that from me. So what I do is for the love of it. You know, I'm an amateur streamer, amateur YouTube video presentator person. I just love what I'm doing. And so when I have time, I love to kind of put those things together for you guys. So I am working on a Viconia video, and you guys just being here and supporting and making comments and telling me what you want, it does so much. I mean, it really keeps me engaged and want to make that content for y'all. But I will check you guys later. I got to see if there's anybody in Twitch though that we can kind of piggyback and go see. But yeah, let me see here. Oh, hey Dagger, how you doing? Welcome on in, and I hope to see Dagger soon. Gifted party, have 20 jewels. Oh, thank you, CP. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, those are in YouTube. It's kind of like, you know how like bits work in Twitch. Jewels are kind of similar on the YouTube side of things, and so I greatly appreciate it. It's never expected. I never ask for anything from you guys. If you guys sub, that's wonderful. If you don't sub, that's fine too. I just like the engagement. I like having you guys around. But yeah, I'll probably end my stream on the YouTube side, and then I'll just see if there's somebody I can raid over on the Twitch side. Give me 1 second to